What? Oh, great. What's up? Well, I appear to be in hell. I really can't seem to stop coming here. So do you, redeem my frequent flyer points, or... Tough crowd. You know, I really should familiarize myself with this place if I'm gonna be coming here so often. You know what I need? I need a guide. Someone that knows the inner workings of hell better than I. Preferably someone who talks. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Bryan Melvin, author of Hell's Dominion, A Land Unknown. Information you've probably already gathered because you can read. Bryan here was featured on a little-known show called Stories of the Supernatural. It's little known because it only aired in Fresno, California on public access television, and to my best recollection, no human beings have ever lived in Fresno. He's the newest member of the Midnight Society, here to tell us a spooky tale to see if he can join us around the campfire. Tonight, this is our Dante, and we're about to visit his inferno.
In 1980, I was a rough and ready kind of a guy.
Well, it's obvious why he went to hell. He partook of the devil's music. He also confesses to being a...
rough and ready kind of a guy.
Gay. He confesses to being gay. I don't know how else to interpret that.
One of the guys brought some water from Mexico that was contaminated.
I'm sorry, he went where? And brought back what?
Brought some water from Mexico that was contaminated.
Well, how the hell did he do that? I'm serious, how did that happen? One of your coworkers drove to Mexico, got some contaminated water, brought it back to the United States, didn't drink a sip of it on his way home, and then brought it to the work site and left it there for you and you alone to drink.
Got real sick, contracted cholera.
Wait, the water gave you cholera? So your coworker went to Mexico and got some cholera water that nobody drank but you? And it was left out in the open on a hot work site and nobody but you drank it? Bryan, I think your coworker tried to murder you, dude.
Next thing I knew, I went through the ceiling.
I'm sorry, I can't get the image of Bryan Melvin getting ejected through the ceiling with his magnitude 10 jet force diarrhea like a fucking Looney Tunes character out of my head.
I was actually Jesus, and then he took out all these keys out of his robe. Just
Bryan Melvin gets ejected through the roof by his poop rocket, then meets Jesus, who pulls out a keyring as though he were the old janitor and opens up a door to hell. Did he fumble around? Bryan, did he grab the right key the first time? I'm crying, Bryan, please help me.
And a door opened. Then the veil came over and it was dark again. I couldn't see it. All I could see was the Lord. And I was being moved toward this door, and then I went through that door into a void.
And Jesus fumbled with his keyring and said unto thee, You've been a bad, bad man, Bryan Melvin. You listen to rock and roll music and have the gay butt sex. Into the giant hell anus you go now. No, I don't want to go into the anus too! No! Ah!
And it smelled horrible.
Oh, did it now?
The most thing I remember the most was slurping noises.
The fucking slurping noises. Alright, that does it. Am I getting tricked by this fucking video? Am I getting fucking trolled? I don't recall ordering first-class tickets to the Ruse Cruise here. I thought we were going to hell.
You know, it kind of hurt, and I stood up, and I looked, and I go, where am I?
So Bryan Melvin knew how to identify Jesus by his signature Jesus scars.
You can see the scar where the nails were kind of like in the wrist area, and it kind of pulled the bones apart.
But could not figure out where he went when Jesus pushed him into a swirling ass cloud that farted him into a fiery abyss. You know, I'm no empiricist, but I think my first instinct would be, shit, I went to hell, didn't I? Dang it.
All these people ran out. I saw what looked like my best friend turn into somebody else. And I said, hey, wait a minute, you can't do that. You're not who you say you are.
Wait a minute, hold on. You're supposed to be my best friend Mark? But, okay, wait. I'm piecing it together. My best friend Mark can't shapeshift, which means...
All these people around me are not people. They begin to morph into what they were. They were ugliest creatures I've ever seen.
Come on, guys, really? You couldn't even hire a guy to, do a drawing of some kind of ugly demon here? I mean, just look. Look over there. Look at that thing. That thing's ugly as hell. God, I hate that thing.
It was about 4'8", looked like a sort of half dinosaur.
Well, I reckon that'd be a goose.
And it was hissing and spitting at me. And
Bryan Melvin, professional gooseologist, describing to us what a goose do. I'm not surprised there are geese in hell. Have you seen a goose?
it was broken in English. It was telling me to come, follow it, follow it, follow it.
Well, now why didn't you use this puppet earlier? Why'd you use the goose puppet? Does this puppet not better fit the description of the thing he was talking about? What, did they find it after the fact and just refuse to shoot the scene later with the better puppet? You don't even need everybody there, it's literally just the puppet by itself. You record it in your garage, you can record it in your closet, you could record it in your bathroom. I'm just saying there were a lot of options and they chose to not.
So he motioned to me and we took a few steps and all of a sudden we were at the end of the horizon.
I kicked that little dude back into the fucking manlet pit. Do not beckon me, you little green bitch.
That creature stuck its hand in this horizon and he ripped it open like a veil and he stepped out of it up onto this road and he telling me to come.
This is a joke, right? I am being trolled by this video. Where do I even begin with this? First of all, you're obviously standing in front of a green screen. Put something back there. Anything. Make it red. Put fire back there. Use the backdrop. You just showed a backdrop. Put something in there. Second of all, did nobody on set say, maybe we should, I don't know, do one retake, just one retake so that you can't see the rest of my fucking garage in the background? I'd say you could have fixed it in post by messing with the size, but it kind of looks like you've already done that, considering this guy's head is up here and this dude's head is down here. Zoom in any further and you'd be cutting one of these guys off. So the obvious solution was to do the shot again, but nobody wanted to do it again.
I just came out of a cell, a cube. It was around 10 by 10 foot square. It could have been 14 by 14.
You know how when people are lying, they tend to be unnecessarily detailed in their description of events? Unrelated to this, of course. I just thought that was interesting.
It showed me another person. Each person that was in their cube was like they were reliving parts of their life.
Imagine, hell's ultimate punishment is just making you live your life again.
When we return, Bryan Melvin is taken deeper into hell on stories of the supernatural.
I'll be right back during the commercial. I gotta grab a drink. Last time on Traveler's Diarrhea.
And they would be attacking people in various ways, but to the people they look like other people or times in their lives, or they look like demons. Whatever their worst nightmare was is basically what they were living.
Oh man, so if I'm understanding you, if I go to hell, the demons are gonna go into my fake life and pretend to be jury duty notices that I didn't see when I checked the mail that are set for tomorrow?
I mean, he was in a cube at first, and the person who was looking at this creature.
Shoo Voldemort, nobody invited you on my tour. Bryan here is threatening to give me a damn migraine. Listen to what he says again.
In a cube at first, and the person who was looking at this creature.
They must have been operating with limited film or something because there's no way they heard that. We're like, yeah, that's fine. Who gives a shit anyways? Nobody watches this.
It's one of those tall creatures with the faces.
Oh yeah, you know. One of those tall creatures with the faces. You know the one. They're purple. Look at my man trying not to trip over his robe and then making sure he brushes the wrinkles out of it. Holy shit.
And with its faces revolving around.
Bryan describes this creature as having multiple rotating beautiful faces, but stories of the supernatural didn't have the budget for that, so we got Purple Voldemort.
Very seductive, very, very flattering, very, very persuasive.
Man, I don't know about you, but I'm seduced. I'm convinced. Of what? Bald.
It would try to plant thoughts in your mind, trying to tell you, why would such a good God allow people to suffer like this? It was trying to get me to curse God.
Excuse me, Chrome Dome, why are you preaching to me? I am already in hell. You won, man. That's it. Show's over. This is the end of the line. Unless this is part of my punishment. In which case, you guys know me so well. How'd you know that would piss me off so much?
I really don't know who the demon creature was. I know he had great power and authority. He either was the second in command or he could have been Satan himself.
Look at Bryan Melvin over here. King Shit-a-Fuck Mountain got to meet both Jesus and Satan in one day. As though neither of those two people are too busy to talk to Bryan fucking Melvin.
There was an individual that she practiced the black dark craft.
Why is that funny? Why is the black dark craft funny? I genuinely can't even explain it enough to make a joke out of it, but for some reason, whenever I hear the black dark craft, I giggle. I think my brain is just malfunctioning. I might be severely dehydrated.
She was a witch. I just knew that she was a witch. But she was trapped in a coffin, scratching, trying to get out. She couldn't get out. She was in that position for years and years and years.
Anyone else catch Bryan's little laugh there at the end? I know she practiced the black dark craft, but you're supposed to be better than the demons, remember?
And there was another lady, and she believed that Mother Earth could save her. And then if she honored the trees and the rocks, and she was into this nature thing, getting out in the fields and dancing around a fire with a bunch of other people doing the same.
I've done some dancing around a bonfire in my time, Bryan. Am I gonna go to hell? Wait. Oh, wait. Shit, is that why I'm here?
The people that she thought that she was with were actually demons, and they would come up to her and say, you did this. They pick up a stone. You say, the stone will save you here, and they smacked her with it.
Now, see, if she also picked up a stone and hit the demon with it first, then I would say the stone did save her. And then what would you have to say about that, Bryan? You know, I thought Bryan Melvin was an author. Why does he talk like this? He's telling the story like he was a child. The demons, they did the thing, and then stuff happened. Okay, little Bryan, go tell your spooky stories to the neighbor kids. Daddy's busy with his 4th mid-morning highball.
The demons reached down there and reached in her mouth, ripped out her tongue and part of her thing, and says, you talk bad? They ripped off her, just actually took her skin and just peeled it off. But then they took the bones and broke the bones.
Fucking hell, man. That seems a little intense, yeah? I'm gonna be real, if I get to hell and I find out my eternal torment is because I talk bad, I'm going to file a complaint with management.
And some of the cruelest people on earth were in these. You know, some people, I don't like to say names of people.
Wait, why? Who do you have as contender for worst person in human history that you could possibly offend? Jack the Ripper, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer.
But I will, you know, this one particular individual is definitely there, and everybody knows who it is. It's Adolf Hitler.
Oh my God. It's Charlie Chaplin!
Hitler was sitting in a cube. The cube was open, and it was just burning flames. His flesh wasn't burning, and he had this hideous look on his face. As he was burning, the flesh would be rotting.
I don't understand. Why was Hippie Granny's punishment so visceral and detailed, but Hitler, I don't know, it just kind of sounds like he's irritated at his current predicament.
It was almost like every oven.
Bruh, I'm not showing that footage. I can't believe you showed that footage. Bruh.
When we return, Bryan Melvin tells how for a moment he thought he may be trapped in hell for all eternity.
Well, gee golly gosh. Do you think he made it out of there all right?
And the cube was open, and inside there, this demon was trying to get me to go inside this cube in what looked like a dentist chair. And the cube was open, and inside there, this demon was trying to get me to go inside this cube in what looked like a dentist chair. I'm not afraid of dentists at all, but this thing looked like a dentist chair to me.
Bryan, weren't you the one that said they would manifest as your worst fears? Why are you trying to act tough for the camera? It's all right, Bryan. You're allowed to be scared of the dentist. That's like 36% of all Americans. It's a guy that puts hooks in your mouth. Any other circumstance, that would be fucking terrifying. Your delivery was also not convincing at all. Yeah, haha, I'm not scared of dentists. For any demons that might currently be listening, I am not afraid of dentists. In fact, I'm terrified of, big-breasted women giving me back rubs. Oh, the horror. Oh, I would hate that. Oh.
And I didn't want to go, and this part is very hard for me. Because you got to understand, you are so scared. And this whole time you're there, you're just saying, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
Bryan's scared of dentists. So far, all these punishments seem related to the sins they committed in life. Hippie Granny got punished for worshiping nature. Hitler has his body incinerated for all eternity. So Bryan, what'd you do to a dentist, Bryan? So Jesus saves Bryan, he wakes up in the hospital, and bada bing, bada boom, he writes a book you can purchase on Amazon for 15 USDs.
I better not be in a cube. And the doctor says, no, you're in a hospital. And from it, I was no longer an atheist.
What? What?